everybody. Hello. And how is everybody doing today? Don't mind my crazy little pigtails that I've got going on here. Just kind of pulled my hair back in any old way this morning. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. We are going to be doing a breakfast and books video. So I am going to start off eating some of this cereal here. I've got some Trix cereal with 6 fruity shapes and 2 times the vitamin D, so at least there is some nutritional value in this breakfast. Yeah, you've got this, little cute little bunny on the cover, and that's what the different cereal and shapes look like. And here is the back. Trix Rabbit Racer. Finish the race in 7 moves or less to beat the rabbit and win a bowl of fruity Trix. To play, pull a fruit shape from the box and move to that shape on the track. Repeat until you reach the finish. Very cute little activity to do while you have your cereal. And when I'm done with this cereal, I'm going to be doing a little book review on 2 of Colleen Hoover's books. So if you're looking for a light and easy read, we can go over those books and I can suggest to you if it's worth giving it a go. But without any further ado, let's get into the cereal breakfast that I'm going to have. Got my bowl here. And here is the cereal. It looks so good. Look at that. So bright and colorful. Just looks really good to eat. Now I'm gonna get my oat milk here. It definitely has a very fruity and sweet flavor to it. Give you a bite for you and a bite for me. I feel like I'm in a very awkward position today. I'm like hugging my microphone. I just like to be really close to the mic. When I was a little girl, my mom was very strict, like what kind of cereals I could eat. So it was always like bran cereal or just like plain Cheerios. But when we would go on vacation, when we would go away, a lot of times they'd have like the breakfast included in the hotel or the resort. I'd be allowed to have whatever I wanted. So if there was ever a cereal bar, I would attack like these kind of cereals and just be in heaven. It was like such a special treat for me. those of you that don't love the eating part of the video, you can forward ahead a little bit to the book reviews if you just want to listen to that. These were books that I read a while ago. But I really liked them, so I figured I'd share it. You know, they're very like light reads, easy reads, you know, no depth to it, just like fun escape kind of stories. So I remember being on vacation and grabbing cereal and having a bowl and finishing that bowl and then going back and getting like a different cereal and having a bowl and finishing that bowl. I'm like having like 3 bowls of cereal like as a kid, and I didn't care, like I'd be so full but I'd still eat it because like it was just like an opportunity to eat all that junk food. And I do kind of consider this kind of cereal junk food. It's not exactly like healthy breakfast. But at least they infuse some like vitamins and it makes it a little bit better. A little grape here. It looks like a bundle of grapes anyway. And then the green one looks like a little watermelon. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of soggy on my spoon. I live in the countryside, and so like all the homes around me have a lot of acreage, and there's always somebody mowing the lawn like 24 hours a day because there's just so much lawn and property out here. I hope that it's not picking up like on the audio too much or too loud, but hopefully it sounds just like white noise in the background. I have to find a way to soundproof my rooms. show you. And I'll kind of tell you why, but it's hard to give too much information about a book because I don't like to spoil it. I find that even if someone doesn't talk about the ending and they're just talking about like what the book is about, it's still a little bit of a spoiler to me, you know, like you just want to like kind of know just enough to like encourage you to read it and then go into it like not fully knowing every detail, because if you know everything that's going to happen throughout the book or the entire premise, sometimes it just kind of, sometimes it like takes away the enjoyment of like reading the book. But anyway, so this one is It Starts With Us, and if you're a Colleen Hoover fan, you probably have heard of it. It was one of her biggest sellers. And I'm gonna read it to you. I'm gonna read you the back, not the book, but the back, and that's just gonna give you a quick synopsis of like what this book is about without giving away too much. Lily and Riley have just settled into a civil co-parenting rhythm with their daughter Emerson when Lily suddenly runs into Atlas nearly 2 years after they last spoke. Elated that the timing finally seems to be right to give what they have together a real chance, Atlas asks Lily on a date. But Lily's excitement almost immediately replaced by dread and anxiety when Lily remembers that Riley, though no longer her husband, is still very much a part of her life. And though Riley would dislike Lily dating anyone but him, Atlas Corrigan is the one man he absolutely will not stand having his ex-wife and daughter's lives told from the perspective of Lily and Atlas. It Starts With Us gives reader a deeper look into Atlas's past as he and Lily reconnect and rekindle the love they shared as teenagers while navigating a volatile ex-husband who believes Atlas to be one of the reasons why his marriage with Lily ended. It Starts With Us picks up right where the epilogue for the glorious and touching USA It Ends With Us left off, giving readers the exhilarated sequel to Colleen's best-selling phenomenon they have been begging for. And that just brings me to the next thing I completely forgot. This is the second book. The first one, as you just heard me read, was It Ends With Us. So that kind of changes what I'm gonna say. So the second book, it was good. A lot of times the second book, isn't as good in a series, but this one was definitely as good as the first one. And if you read the first one and you liked it, then you will like this. It's a good story. But I'm just gonna say the one thing I don't like about it, and I'm gonna be careful in how I say it because I don't want to ruin anything. There is a concept in the book that they don't really mention in the description, and it's dark. That's all I'm gonna say. The concept is a dark and sensitive subject, so it's not a book that's necessarily an escape. It's a book that might be sensitive to some people it's a book that might be sensitive to some people that have experienced these kind of life traumas. So like if you're looking for a book, like I personally like books that like are so out there that like would not likely happen, like like fantasy or just something like really just extra out there, like a real escape, something that like I don't have to like worry about it actually happening to me or anybody I know in real life, because it's just like so out there. So I don't mind drama or horror or any of those things as long as I know it's like kind of unrealistic. That detachment from the story is what makes me enjoy it more. I don't know if that makes sense, like if you're reading about something that's like true to life or something that you've experienced yourself, self-help or, you know, something relatable, it's a different story. But if you're reading just for like escapism, I don't think that those two books, It Starts With Us and It Ends With Us, is the first one, and then It Starts With Us, I don't think that those are the best books to read just to like escape, especially if you've been through something similar. And it is